we are going to discussing very important aspects of heart failure management, and to discuss the same we have with us a senior eminent cardiologist of the country, Dr. Deepak Ranjan Das. We welcome you, sir. Sir, first of all, we will discuss the recent data which is comes in a favor of empagliflozins in heart failure with preserved ejection fractions, that the first trial which is positive for the heart failure with preserved ejection fractions. So, it reduces the CV death and hospitalization for heart failure. How you see the benefits of this trials in actual clinical practice?
There has been a watershed line after the EMPEREG outcome came into publication, because in the EMPEREG outcome itself, it was quite obvious that patients with heart failure definitely get benefit, and more in terms of reduction in hospitalization for heart failure. And subsequently, the robust data came from EMPEROR reduced, where in heart failure with reduced ejection fraction, it was proven to have not just morbidity, but also mortality benefit. And then the EMPEROR preserved, actually it was trying out this molecule in a horizon where not many therapeutic options were available for patients with HFpEF. So, this not just gives a new scope for therapy, but most important is its utility, which is seen across diabetics as well as non-diabetics. So, if we can provide, we know most of the diabetics, they have heart failure with preserved ejection fraction, though some of them later on following coronary artery disease or heart failure, they develop heart failure with reduced ejection fraction. Now, if in diabetic patient has heart failure with preserved ejection fraction, and this can provide a dual benefit. So, in diabetic subset definitely it is a positive advancement. In non-diabetic subset also I see it as an upcoming thing, which the subsequent trial data will definitely give us more light.
Yes, sir, definitely the benefit has appeared in both diabetes as well as non-diabetic. So, one more question related to recurrent hospitalizations for heart failure is obviously correlated with the mortality. Trivandrum heart failure history also suggests the same thing. So, looking at this point of view, if SGLT2 inhibitors or empagliflozin reduces the recurrence of hospitalization for heart failure, and in our country like India, the most of the patients are not covered under insurance. So, by reducing the cost of hospitalizations also and mortality, so how useful it is in a larger populations for those who are not covered under insurance?
You have rightly mentioned, in western countries, because lot of them are covered under insurance, the hospitalization cost may not be that significant. In India, where out of pocket expenditure is the largest part of health expenditure, if somebody gets hospitalized for acute decompensated heart failure 2-3 times, then that puts a significant financial burden on the patient. And if we can provide a drug that reduces this number of heart failure hospitalizations, in the long term it may not appear quite significant, maybe over a span of 3 months or 6 months, but if a person survives for 2 years or 5 years, then in long term he can definitely appreciate that he has got a financial advantage of taking these molecules which reduce heart failure hospitalization. And more so with the impulse data, even if you can initiate in such patients who are hospitalized for acute heart failure situations, and you can reduce the duration of hospitalization, the earlier discharge to home, then that also provides additional benefit.
Yes, sir. Definitely the impulse data has provided some clue that there was few dilemma regarding the when to initiate the SGLT2 inhibitor, whether it's after stabilization stage or after first follow-up or second follow-up. So, do you think that now with impulse data early initiations of empagliflozins will benefit to the overall the patient populations of heart failure?
Actually, before the impulse data came up, the John McMurray, who is one of the thought leaders in heart failure management, came up with a concept of sequential initiation of different anti-heart failure medications, where he had already hinted or suggested that SGLT2 inhibitors can be initiated earlier because they are hemodynamically neutral. When a patient is admitted with heart failure, his pressure is low, you are not too convinced about starting ARNI and other molecules which can bring down the blood pressure, you can safely start these molecules because they do not bring down the blood pressure quite significantly. That is why the concept of initiating SGLT2 inhibitors early into heart failure management is now coming from different quarters, and EMPULSE has actually provided another evidence support to that concept.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable experiences with us. Thank you
My
so
pleasure.
much.